had been busier than ever on the island of Sodor. There had been large shipments of goods coming in, and the engines were working harder than ever to get everything delivered on time. Sir Topham Hatt understood this. It is clear to me that you all need some help running the line, so I have called in 2 diesels to help for a little while. The 2 diesels were Derek and a Class 40 that the engines had nicknamed Bowler. They both surveyed the shed. "It's time," said Bowler, "that we took this railway over." "Be quiet," said Derek. "It's their railway, after all." "Not for long. Our controller says that steam engines spoil our image." "Of course we do," snapped Duck. "We show what frauds you are. You call yourselves engines? If anything happens, you don't care about your train. All you do is sit around and moan for a fitter. We always bring the trains home, even if we're on only 1 cylinder." "Oh, please. Nothing ever happens to us. We are reliable." "So reliable that you end up breaking down because of a bowler hat," intercepted James. Bowler scoffed. "Shut up." "You asked for it," growled Derek. This made Bowler so cross that the next morning he immediately traveled over to the harbor. "Give me the biggest goods train you have. The more trucks, the better." "Are you sure?" pondered the manager. "We don't want you breaking down." "I won't break down," Bowler snapped. "Just couple me up to whatever you have." And as such, Bowler was connected to a train of trucks and tankers. "Now I'll show those silly steam engines just how strong we can be." Meanwhile, Henry was rolling home tender first. "I'm a failed engine," he moaned. "Lost my regulator. Driver says it jammed wide open. Of course it would happen after Duck fooled me with those tenders. Now everyone will laugh at me again." He reached a signal box and stopped. Worse and worse. Now old Bowler will laugh at me too. But Bowler wasn't laughing. "For pity's sake, take this green pile of rubbish away," yelled an angry signalman. "Green pile of rubbish?" snapped Bowler. "I'm stow it." The signalman turned back to Henry. "This diesel has failed, and now the passenger train is delayed." Both Henry and his driver knew what to do. They coupled up to Bowler and his train and pulled him away. Bowler didn't help. He just sulked. Just then, Derek passed by them with some coaches, billowing smoke. "Look, Bowler," laughed Henry. "There's your little pal." Bowler continued to say nothing, hoping that Derek didn't notice. Luckily for him, Derek hadn't noticed. He was having troubles of his own, feeling as if the coaches were getting heavier. He struggled on for about half a mile before his teething troubles brought him to a standstill. Well, well, well. I thought they would be laughing at me, but I guess the joke's on them. Henry caught up to Derek and buffered up to his coaches. He couldn't help but feel bad for the diesel as he sat still in a billow of smoke. "It's better than we thought," said Henry's crew after speaking with Derek's. "If we let Derek cool down for a few moments, he can help pull as long as we don't push him too hard. That means the only weight we'll have is Bowler and his goods." "Whoosh! That's a mercy," said Henry. A few minutes went by, and Derek honked his horn. "Boop boop, are you ready?" "Beep beep." "Yes, I am." Henry looked back. "Are you ready, Bowler?" Bowler didn't say a word. The long cavalcade set out for the big station. Donald and the Flying Scotsman were waiting. They cheered as Henry puffed in. The passengers buzzed out like angry bees. But Sir Topham Hatt told them about Henry, so they forgot to be cross and thanked him instead. They called him an enterprising engine, and even took his picture. They were even more thrilled when the Flying Scotsman backed down to their train, while Donald took the goods. Bowler was returned to the other railway in disgrace. Another engine also returned home the next day, albeit on a more positive note. A farewell was given to the Flying Scotsman at Knapford as he began his trip back. "It was nice to see you, brother," said Gordon. "Same to you," replied the Flying Scotsman. "But don't worry, I'll try to stop by Vicarstown more often from now on." "That'll certainly be nice." "It was an honor to have you visit our railway," said Sir Topham Hatt. "Oh, thank you. And it was certainly a pleasure to get to meet all of you," said Flying Scotsman to all the engines and Sir Topham Hatt. "Henry isn't here, but tell him I'm sorry if my two tenders caused him to go green with envy." The engines shared one last laugh, and whistled their goodbyes as Flying Scotsman left the station. "Oh, that reminds me." "So let me get this straight," said Derek. "You failed?" And yet his voice trailed away in admiration. "Well, it was an emergency, you know," replied Henry. "Trains must go through." Just then, Sir Topham Hatt appeared in front of them. "Morning, you two. First of all, Henry, I would like to thank you for helping get the passengers and goods to the station, especially on a failed regulator. And second, Derek, I would like you to know that I have decided to keep you around, and that once you are mended, you will be continuing to help us here on the island of Sodor." Henry and Derek were both very happy.